Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Um, Today I have a couple of stories to share. It's Some of them are really personal, some of them are just things that I thought might have been coincidences that didn't turn out to be coincidences. These are my stories about, I guess, my encounters with God. I guess exactly what I labeled the video. So I'm gonna jump right into it. When I was younger, I remember my mom telling me a story about how she questioned God and if he was there and if he was listening and all that stuff. So I kind of put to test what she did. She said basically she prayed really hard and she asked for the phone to ring and no one be there. And she did that and the phone rang and nobody was there. And she took it as a um, test that he answered her prayer, I guess. So when I was in middle school, I'm going to call this girl, let's call her Macy. That's not her name. It doesn't rhyme with her name, so you guys will never know who it is. But Macy and I were really close our seventh grade year at middle school. We went to McCann's. Um, those of you who know me might know who I was super close with in seventh grade. We were attached by the hip, couldn't separate us for nothing. She had a twin brother who I actually dated um, in fifth grade, even though it sounds weird. So I guess it was just like a fling or whatever. And he gave me a bracelet. And I remember him and I broke up in fifth grade. And then she threatened my life. So we had a really bad relationship. And then in seventh grade, all of our classes were together. And we just started talking one day and we became really good friends. Well, at McCants Middle School, you go to a field trip in seventh grade called Jekyll Island. And we were supposed to share a room together. And I just remember being really scared and really panicky because I was like, I made friends with her. I don't know if she really forgave me. I don't even know why she was even mad at me or why she would even threaten me in the first place. So let's just see what happens. So at that point, I had started reading the Bible. And I said, if I'm going to be okay on this field trip, just let me know. So, and I prayed really hard about it. Like I was tore up. Like I even wanted to back out of, you know, the field trip. So what happened was I prayed and I said, you know what? I'm gonna do what my mom did. God, if you're there, let the phone ring. Let nobody be there. Well, after I prayed super hard, the phone rang. Nobody was there. Then I said, okay, God, if that was really you, just do it one more time for me. Let it be my stepdad's brother. And the phone rang and it was him asking for my stepdad. Um, so Philip, if you're watching this, hey, I'm gonna use his real name because that was my stepdad at the point, and he is awesome. I consider him my dad. He took very good care of me and my brother growing up, and that's honestly who I consider my father figure still to this day. Um, so then I said, okay, one more time because I really want to test my faith, and I know that you're not supposed to test God, but I did. So I said, if that was you, let the phone ring and let me hear breathing. Well, a few minutes passed and the phone rang and I heard breathing and I said, "Hello, are you there?" And then it went click, like to end call. So that was my first encounter. My second encounter was trying to think so I can give you guys the correct order. My second encounter was when I had my second miscarriage, the baby that almost took my life that I was telling you guys about last night. Lost a lot of blood, had to get a blood transfusion. The nurses had to rush into a hospital room, well, in the bathroom area because I had went to the bathroom and I fell on the floor and I blacked out. And I just remembered this super bright yellow warm light. No music, no talking, just a gold bright ass light. So I'm laying there with my eyes closed and I can't remember if I was on my back or on my side, but I know I was begging for my baby. And I said, you know, don't let me lose this baby. I love this baby. I don't want to go through another miscarriage again. I understand that I'm dying. I understand that, if I don't get this blood transfusion, I'm literally going to die. And my mom said I was so out of it that all I could say was, please don't take my baby. Please don't take my baby. Please let me live. I will give anything. Just please tell me this is not true. Just tell me this is not happening. All that stuff. And I remember coming to, and I didn't hear anything, but I knew in my heart that it just wasn't my time to go. And after that, I felt really guilty for a while. I felt like I should have went and started the baby. I felt like, in the Bible it says if you love somebody, you will lay down your life for another person. And I felt like that was me laying down my life for my child. And he didn't answer that prayer. My third one, well, actually, this should have been my second one. I got the order wrong, guys. But my third experience that I can recall was when I had my first miscarriage. I prayed for a baby for 2 months. And, I really blamed myself. I was being blamed by the father of my kids, not trying to diss him. I know people hurt. I know people have to have a source to take it out on, their frustration or whatever. And I just remember feeling empty, like a part of me was missing that I couldn't get back, and I couldn't understand what I did wrong to cause that miscarriage. And I know now that it was never me, like, it was never anything that I did specifically, but it still felt like it. So I remember writing a diary every day, like, "When you're ready, give me a baby. Just show me that I can have a baby. Like, just put it in me that I can have a baby, and I will leave you alone about it." And then one day, I let go, and I stopped asking God for a baby, and then I found out 2 months later that I was pregnant on Christmas Day, and that was my Christmas gift, and I got Colton. And that pregnancy wasn't easy. I bled that pregnancy off and on throughout, the first and second trimester. So those are my three experiences. My fourth experience that really spoke to me was I used to go to a church. It's a very popular church here in Anderson. Everybody knows it. You could probably guess what it is. Well, I was getting baptized. I signed up to get baptized, and I was really emotional about it. Like, really emotional about it. And I really wanted to be close to God, but I wasn't sure if I was ready. And at the baptism, I cried on my way there because this was something that I really wanted to do. It's like I'm about to stand up and tell everybody that I believe in God and Jesus, and I don't know what the freak's gonna happen to me, but I know that it's something I should do. I felt very strongly about it. I prayed really long and hard about it, and I said, "Give me a sign." So we go there, and I'm supposed to be number two, and the lady's like, "Excuse me, miss, we need to change your number because there's another girl who's supposed to go with the first girl." And I said, "Okay," and I got the number 7. So I was like, "God, if this is really something that you want me to do, just give me a sign." And I cried all the way up to my baptism, and I got in that water and I went down and I came back up, and I just remember feeling so relieved, like I could breathe, like I was proud of what I did, like I was gonna be okay. Like, I felt clean eternally, if that makes sense. Um, but just because you get baptized doesn't mean that you're still not a sinner, because people still do make mistakes after they're baptized. Being baptized is something that says, "Hey, I'm ready to take this next step for Jesus and prove that I believe in him and love him and let people know about it." So, and people often think, "Oh, I got baptized, so I can go continue to do these drugs, or I can go drink and do this." And that's not the case at all. You're supposed to try your best to be a better person. Um, yes, people still sin. Nobody's perfect after baptism, but that's like the meaning of it. So during the sermon, there was something about the number 7 being God's number, because God made, heaven and earth and all that in 7 days. And 7 is God's number. It's the number of completion. And it is, I guess, like a lot of people say it's like a lucky number. So 7 is just my favorite number. It's also my mom's favorite number. It's been my favorite number for a very long time. Um, but there's something about number 7 being the number of completion in the sermon, and I took that as a sign. And then I got number 7 when I was baptized. I was the seventh person to go. And when we left the church after baptism and after the ceremony and the sermon, there was literally a legit cross in the sky. And I remember for a very long time after I got baptized, I started reading my Bible religiously. I started studying it religiously. I joined online Bible college. I studied that. I wanted to know everything about it. I really wanted my faith to grow. Like I felt connected, you know? And I remember the father of my children being like, "You got baptized, so you can still do the same things you were doing before. You're forgiven." And it doesn't work that way. And he just really didn't understand. And I remember that I got so close to God at one point in my life that I started thinking, what would I have done if I had lived back then and I was seeing Jesus being crucified? Like, would I have stood up for him? Would I have just stood there? And I really felt in my heart that I would have said something. And I believe to this day that I would have said something, even if they would have probably killed me too, kind of thing. So those were a couple of signs. Trying to make sure I didn't miss any. But I do believe that there's a God. I do believe everything happens for a reason. There's a reason why I'm going through a breakup right now. There's a reason why that guy was abusive to me emotionally and verbally. And there's a reason why I had miscarriages. And I know for a fact everything that is taken away from you, God will give back. I had a miscarriage, had Colton, had Carter, had a miscarriage, had Chelsea. So 50% of my pregnancies were miscarriages, and 50% of my pregnancies were healthy babies, but complicated along the way. So for every miscarriage that I had, I got one in return. Um, and sometimes I get these, I'm not nowhere near as close to God as I used to be. I'm really fighting that battle in my life right now. Sometimes I get these overwhelming urges to pray. I feel like I can't breathe and like I need to do it now. And sometimes I'll get the urge to, and I'll ignore pray or listen to Christian music. That's what I do a lot. Like I'll put my headphones in and just listen to the music and say it in my heart. But I've had so much stuff happen to me since my third miscarriage up to this year, and even right now going on with a custody battle, and abusive ex, another abusive ex. You know, it's hard. It's hard to say, "Are you there?" Because I know you've given me, signs before, but now I'm so hurt that I'm starting to think that they're coincidences, and I legitimately don't know because it's like sometimes I'll pray and I'll pray super hard. Like the night of this most recent breakup, I prayed so hard that night, out loud to myself, crying myself to sleep, listening to Christian music, and got no answer. And I still don't think I've gotten an answer. And even last night, like I'm still healing from this breakup. I was like, just give me a sign that everything's going to be okay, or that, you know, this is going to sound really stupid because I gave my all to this guy, that he would reach out to me and give me closure or something like that. And I haven't heard anything back yet, but sometimes no answer is an answer. And I've always been told that God's answers are yes, no, and later. So I don't know what God's got in store for me, but I feel like this year I really need to improve and put myself first. Last 6 years of my life, I gave up everything and went through a lot of emotional and verbal stuff and some physical stuff. And this most recent breakup was all three again. Um, and I'm saying a prayer for that person, and I'm saying a prayer for my baby daddy, and saying a prayer for myself at night, and I'm saying a prayer for my kids, and I'm fighting that urge to pray. Like sometimes it gets so overwhelming that I feel sick about it. Like I have to do it now. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys one more thing. About a month before this most recent breakup happened, while I was off of social media for like over half a year, um, the day that I found out that they were giving custody to my children's father was Valentine's Day. And I was in Walmart neighborhood market up there in Simpsonville, and I remember feeling really sick to my stomach and like crying and could not stop crying and upset and going to work that day because I had to make chocolate covered strawberries and stuff for Valentine's Day. And this lady in Walmart, I don't even freaking know her. She came out of nowhere. I had grabbed something to eat before I went to work, and I was leaving out of the store, and she was going this way into the store, and she stopped me, and she grabbed me by my hand, and she hugged me tight, like super tight. She didn't say one word either, and then after maybe like 2 minutes, she let me go and continue walking. And I remember calling my mom, like, the weirdest thing just happened to me. I don't understand what's going on. Like, I just found out James is getting custody, and then like a month later, the guy and I broke up, and He is verbal and emotional, and what he did to me physically, he blamed on PTSD. And now I know why I got that hug. I got that hug because, one, my kids were going with their dad, and two, something was about to happen to me, and I was about to recognize somebody's true colors real quick, like, not that I didn't see them before, but I kept brushing them over the rug because I love this person and I really wanted to make it work. I know I sound stupid, I sound pathetic, I'm sorry. When I love somebody, I love with my whole heart and I'm really passionate about it, and I would literally open up the gates of hell for somebody. Um, but now I know I got that hug, and I don't know whoever's watching this, if you do or don't believe in God. You might not, you might do, but I've had some encounters. Sometimes my faith does dwindle. You're not supposed to be lukewarm about your faith. You're supposed to be hot or cold, and preferably hot. And right now, I would say I'm not lukewarm, but I wouldn't say I'm hot either. I would say I'm like in the middle because I still question things. Sometimes I think back to all those examples that I just gave and think that they're coincidences, but there's got to be something out there for all those coincidences to happen. So why not believe in God? I mean, why not? But I hope that this helps people. I hope that my, I guess, testimony helps somebody. If you guys want to talk about religion or God, let me know. Hit me up. I have Snapchat. I have Facebook Messenger. You can email me. You can talk to me right here on the live chat. It's whatever you guys want to do. And tomorrow night, I might make a live stream and I might not. I don't know. It's supposed to be going to dinner with one of my mom's friends and her. So hope you guys like this video. Hit subscribe if you want to be alerted when I come on, and I hope you guys have a good night. Bye.